Hello, welcome to another Ewa and Ewa story. This story finds Ewa and Ewa a little bit sad. Something very strange had been going on. With very little notice, they'd been told they had to pack all their things into, one bag each. And then, having packed all their stuff, Mummy said, right, it's time for us to go. And so off they went, and they left Daddy behind. Very, very unusual. They really weren't sure what was going on. And then there was such a long journey. It took days. First of all, they got in a coach. That was so boring. Then they waited around at an airport. That was so boring. And then they got on an aeroplane, which, wasn't quite so boring, but it did take a very long time. Ewa and Ewa both slept for most of it, but they knew it had taken them a very long way. And then when that journey ended, more boring waiting around, and then another coach and waiting around. And then a brand new house. That was very nice and it was very exciting, but they didn't have all their stuff, and they were missing quite a few things. And the thing they missed most of all were all the wonderful animals in the place where they lived. The new house was very brilliant, very lovely, but there were no grevy zebras, and there was nothing else to go out and have a look at. Well, there was, but they were all a little bit different. They hadn't been in the new house for very long. And Mummy said, what is the matter with you two? And they said, we used to like going and looking at the animals. There was so much to see. And Mummy smiled, and they thought, what's going on? And she said, well, today we're going to go out and see if we can find some. Well, they knew it was a hopeless task because this place, it had the odd cat, it had the odd dog, there were even some cows in the field, but there certainly weren't exciting animals to go and look at. They got on their coats, they put on their shoes, and they started to go out. They started walking down the street. They hadn't got very far, and they saw a house, and in the window was an amazing picture. Somebody had drawn a lion. It was an amazing lion. And they walked a bit further, and they saw a giraffe. And they walked a bit further, and they saw a turtle. They saw hyenas. They saw elephants. In one house, they saw a giraffe that was so tall, its bottom half was in the kitchen, and its top half was in the bedroom upstairs. They saw a dog. They saw a warthog. And then they even saw some dinosaurs. Now, where they came from at home was very, very good, but there certainly weren't dinosaurs. But here in this new house, there were pictures of dinosaurs. They even, on top of a wall, saw a fish. They saw antelope things. I'm sure you know what the proper name is for them. But they were amazing. Well, they walked around and around and they kept seeing new pictures of different animals. Some of them were a little bit tricky to work out what they were, and others were very obvious. Some of them were quite scary. In fact, at one of the houses they looked at a picture and they were looking at it and they were saying, that's a lovely picture. And then they noticed, behind the picture, there was a black and white cat. Well, luckily for Ewa and Ewa and for Ewa and Ewa's mummy, it wasn't I like to eat mice. No, this was a very friendly cat that obviously lived in that house and wasn't coming out to have them for breakfast. And they'd certainly cheered up by the time they saw the hippopotamus. In another window, there were so many animals they couldn't even count them. Well, eventually it was time to go home, so that's what they did. And as they got through the front door, they were both smiling, and Mummy said, did you like that? And they'd said, we did. That was our very own safari in this very strange place. And Mummy said, yes, well, I've got a treat for you, so if you'd like to sit down and we'll have our treat, and we'll colour some pictures, and we'll put them in our window, so that if somebody else is walking past, they can have a safari here as well. They had to think a long time what to put. Ewa wanted to draw a scorpion, and Ewa a snake. So if you've got a house at all like theirs and you're walking around, have a look. I'm not sure you'll find one, but you'll certainly see lots of other things. And to make the day even better, Mummy said, it won't be long, we're not quite sure when, but it certainly won't be long before we're going back and we can see all the animals, not just in pictures, but for real as well. Well, I hope you like that story. That's another Ewa and Ewa